Welcome to Dancing with the Odds. It is September 12th, 2024. I'm Dennis Tresca, and I'm here with one of the fellow Rad Dads, Aaron Patterson. Hey, Aaron. So we are without Shaun, Dr. Parlay Thompson. Yeah, take two. First, Shaun's not here. He's saving lives. He's doing the thing as a doctor. So we will be ready to talk about some of his bets. But back to the take two thing. We actually recorded an awesome episode last night. The most awesomest episode ever.
This
is the best. It was the best episode. There's never been a better episode.
But you can't see it or hear it.
There was no audio except for one person, which didn't really make sense. The settings were there. It was set up correctly. I don't know, guys. So something we're gonna do. You know, my promise is that we'll get better. Oh, there's Shaun's writing us. Has to go get Eliza.
Yep.
So there it is. We're Rad Dads. Daughters come first. So we're going to power through this and just kind of give you guys what Shaun's bets are. But we are trying a new software right now. We are going with Zencastr. A little bit of a free trial going on. We'll see how this works. If it works, then I'm going to just ditch the open source stuff, and we're just going to spend a couple bucks a month so that we have a better product for you, the listeners. Cool.
And that, at the end of the day, is what it's all about.
That is what it's all about. And we make that promise to you. What we would like from you, smash that subscribe button. If you're watching the video, that would be great. Please
this is give and take here, guys. Give and take.
Help. Yeah. Help us out. All right. So we're going to kind of make this quick since we already did this once. And you know, we've already made our arguments. But we're going to go through our bets, and we're going to let you guys know what we're thinking. So first off, really, really quick review here. We still suck. Yeah, we still suck.
Just slightly.
Didn't hit on any of our bets. Well, we didn't hit on any of our parlays, which essentially was our bets. But we missed on the Michigan plus 7.5 versus Texas. We did hit the Ole Miss. They did cover versus Middle Tennessee. So good call on that, Aaron. I think that was your bet.
Yeah, Jackson Dart.
We missed on the Green Bay plus 3 versus Philly in that ugly, sloppy game in Brazil. But we did get the under on the Minnesota New York Giants game. So I think that was Shaun's bet.
Yep.
So we put them all together and made a 4-leg parlay, and that didn't help us either since we missed on both of the other two. So it is what it is. One thing we're going to start doing is we're going to track all these bets that we're bringing to the table. So obviously we're 0 for everything. I think it's 0-7 for podcast bets.
Yeah.
Individually, we're much closer together. Aaron's leading the way at 3-7. Shaun and I are both 2-7 so far in the year. So we're going to try to turn that around.
And we're going to try a little different format. We're not going to do or lean so heavily on the parlays.
Yeah, good point. Let's talk about that. So I think we're going to do straights for a bit. This week, definitely.
Yeah.
Let's get that pot built up and see if we can actually be in the black at the end of the weekend. Make a few bucks.
Nice.
That'd be nice. Yeah. We can do it. All right. Well, Aaron, do you want to go through your college bets? We'll kind of start there.
Yeah.
And then I'll go through mine, and we can talk Shaun's after that.
So, we've determined that I have to just throw everything at the wall and see what sticks because I picked just a ton of them. I got 4 of them here.
This is what you do.
This is what I do.
This is why you're winning.
This is how I got to 3-7.
Win by volume, by just sheer volume.
Yep.
I like it.
The first game that I got down here that kind of stuck out to me, and like I said before, you didn't hear this, but the last one, these were all checked. The lines were as of Monday. Like I said, we're Thursday right now, so some of this could vary a little bit. I haven't looked. I think a lot of them are still fairly close from some of the stuff that I looked at. But anyways, moving forward here, we got Washington State plus 4.5 at Washington. Washington State's first 2 games were against Portland State and Texas Tech, and they beat them by a combined 107-46. Washington State is averaging 526.5 yards a game in those 2 games, so they've got a lot of offense going. Last year, Washington State lost 24-21 to Washington, who now has a new head coach. They've got the talent, but they've got a new head coach that they're dealing with. So I think that this game kind of leans itself toward, even though it is at Washington, it kind of leans itself towards, Washington State covering that 4.5 points. Jed Fish in his first two head coaching years at Arizona, which I know is one of Dennis's favorite colleges.
Fuck Arizona.
He was 1-11 the first year and 5-7 the second year. So I think this Jake Dickert, who is in his fourth year at Washington State, has the edge in the coaching side. Plus 4.5 I liked with Washington State at Washington.
Very nice.
Second game that I went with, and probably one of the ones that we stayed away from just because of the big spread, but I like going back to the well. So Ole Miss is a 23-point favorite at Wake Forest. Wake Forest gave up 31 points to Virginia last week. Ole Miss is ranked third for team defense. They're giving up 1 yard per rush on average, which equates to about 27 yards a game rushing. And then through the air, it's 198 yards that they're giving up. So they've got a stout defense to go along with that potent offense led by Jackson Dart. And like I said, I just like riding the hot hand, so I figured Ole Miss, 23-point favorite at Wake Forest.
Yeah, why not?
I like it. I may do that on the side myself, just for a little bit of fun, but we stayed away from that one, which rightfully so, I think. But it was one I like to throw out there just to spice things up a little bit. Third one I had was Memphis +8 at Florida State. Memphis went 10-3 last year, and they're returning a lot of the same talent that they had from last year's team. They beat Northern Alabama and Troy the last 2 weeks. Northern Alabama was 40-0. Troy was 38-17. Last week, Memphis gained 211 yards rushing. Florida State just can't stop the run. That's their big Achilles heel this year so far in the first 2 games.
Yep.
They're 12th to last in rushing yards allowed per game. So they're pretty bad, and they've only played Georgia Tech and Boston College.
Florida State sucks.
If you're getting ran over by Boston College and Georgia Tech, something is amiss. And
yeah, there's definitely something going on there.
I do have that note of Florida State sucks. So yeah, I like Memphis at +8 with that one, and I would not be surprised if that line has moved a little bit. But like I said, I haven't been able to check. Last game, and the game that I really liked, Oregon at Oregon State. Oregon State is a 16.5-point underdog. This is a rivalry game in Corvallis, and Oregon has struggled the last 2 weeks. They failed to cover the first 2 games, 39.5 against Idaho, and then 14.5 last week against Boise State. Failed to cover. Oregon State's allowed 7.5 points per game thus far with a shutout last week of San Diego State. Oregon, and this was the big thing that got me, Oregon hasn't won in Corvallis since 2018. And then the other thing that was interesting was the host team is on a streak of 4-0 against the spread and straight up.
Wow.
So that home team advantage really plays into this rivalry game. And Oregon's just, there's something going on with them.
They're not right.
16.5 points is a lot to give up in a rivalry game.
I agree. Wow. I like those. I like those a lot. Enough to maybe we picked one, but we'll get to that in a minute.
We did pick one.
I think we did.
Not the Ole Miss one, though. Spoiler alert.
Not the Ole Miss one. Spoilers.
Disclaimer.
All right. So I'm going to go into mine real quick. So I liked, with my first one that I saw was Texas. So Texas 34.5 points. That's a big spread, but they're playing UTSA. And I know Texas just beat Michigan. So this has all the settings of a letdown game, but I just don't think they're built that way this year. They're so deep. Their backups are going to get in there and keep running up the score. I just think they're going to be one of those teams that's going to cover all season, or really close to covering all season. I can see them just blowing out UTSA, who got blown out by
Oh, yeah.
Texas State,
Yep.
who just intercepted the ball from my Sun Devils as I'm speaking. So that's really wonderful. Damn it. Damn it.
So you're talking
Yeah.
about them. And
Yep. They heard me. All right. So that's the first game. Second game, I really liked this one. I like Colorado State to cover at 7.5 points. Or plus 7.5 versus Colorado. Some of the fun stats that I found about Prime. He's coached 14 games at the University of Colorado. He has beaten a team by more than 8 points just once. I know who that was. It was Nebraska
womp, womp.
last season. He's also lost 9 of those 14 games outright. And they've been a bad bet when they've been favorites under Coach Prime. Buffaloes are 1-3 against the spread as favorites, and they're 0-3 when they're favored by more than 3 points. And one of those games came last season when Colorado defeated Colorado State 43-35 in overtime when they were 22.5 point favorites. So they did not even cover that.
Not even close.
They're horrible. They're just not a good team. They've got some really good skill players in certain positions.
They're just not a team.
You're not going to win that way, right? You're just not. And they haven't. They were, what did they win, 3 last year?
Yeah, they finished last in the Pac-12.
So they won 3 games, and they still get all this hype going into this year when they didn't go out and do anything to remedy. Their lines are bad on both sides of the ball.
Oh, horrible.
Horrible.
Line specifically.
We talk about rivalry games. Colorado State, Colorado hate each other. I think Colorado State covers this. Colorado State might win this game.
I think they might.
So this is a bet I'm definitely going to be betting on myself. And then the last one I kind of liked was the UNLV KU game, the over 56.5 points. I know Kansas was kind of just had a bad game last week against Illinois, but their quarterback Jalen Daniels, he's experienced, he's talented. He was getting a little Heisman buzz, I don't know now after that loss, but
cooled off a little.
And UNLV, what's that?
Cooled off a little bit.
Yeah, cooled off a little bit. UNLV can score a lot as well. I just see these two teams just both scoring in the 30s. I can see this being high score. So those were my games. I don't know if we want to talk about Shaun's here.
Yeah, we can mention them.
And then we'll let him, what you said earlier is we can let him maybe come on and do a short video and, argue his point. So his first game he has Memphis first half over 10.5 points versus FSU. Kind of go by what you were saying earlier. You had the same game marked, just a different bet. And I think a lot of the same arguments apply there. Then he had Tennessee minus 48.5 versus Kent State, which they very likely may do that.
Yeah.
Tennessee's
legit.
Year. Holy crap, they're playing well. They're starting off strong. And then this other one that I kind of really liked. What's that?
They got a great quarterback.
They really do. Other one I really liked that he had on here was Troy plus 22.5 at Iowa.
Yep, it's still the same. I'm kind of scrolling through looking. Yep, it's still 22.5.
And I think Troy's just one of those programs. They're just a solid program year in, year out, and they play everyone pretty tough. And it's fucking Iowa, who lost.
Who knows what you're going to get?
And it was hilarious.
You don't know what you're going to get out of them offensively.
No. Defensively,
you do. Offense.
Oh yeah, their defense is great, but they're Thought maybe they figured something out that first week. No, it's just because they played a bad team. I think
because
maybe
Ferentz wasn't there.
He wasn't on the sideline. I mean, maybe that's the key. Huh.
And just looking, Colorado State is currently 7.5 points. I can't remember.
Still 7.5.
Still 7.5.
Yeah, that's what it was. I might put. Yeah, I'm gonna put some money on that one. So there you have it.
Like
so
everything is still pretty close from what I saw. I saw Washington State still 4.5 point underdog. So everything's holding since Monday. It looks like nothing's moved much.
Cool.
Probably
that's good.
Until tomorrow anyway.
So those are the bets that the three of us have for college. Those are the ones I'm going to be putting in our little season tracker, no matter what the podcast bets are. But for the podcast bets, the three of us did come together and decide that we are going to do 2 straights for college. And the first one is that Memphis first half over 10.5 versus Florida State. And then the second one, the one that Aaron brought, Oregon at Oregon State, and taking Oregon State plus 16.5. So those bets were placed legally in Iowa today.
Disclaimer.
That's right. Did I tell you my dad even says that now?
Yeah.
I'll just be like, disclaimer. Yes. Love it.
We got to get shirts made.
There's another one. We have so many shirt ideas, many shirt and hat ideas.
Swag. We've got swag ideas coming out of our ass.
We're really good at ideas, guys. Really good at ideas. Like I had this idea that last night we could record an episode and get all of our audio. It's on the
and
execution.
And have it published today.
Right.
Instead.
All right. Let's go in. Yeah, that's right. We're going to get it on this one. Let's go into the NFL and keep moving forward. So why don't you go ahead and share your bets, Aaron?
Yeah, and the first one that I've got, I'm looking at right now, it's halftime at 34 points already, so that one may not work, but
spoiler alert, we didn't
use it. I had the Bills and Dolphins under 48.5, and this all seemed like really solid logic here. Both teams are playing on a short week because obviously it's a Thursday night game. When they kicked off, the feels like temperature was 106. Probably give or take whatever since they've already kicked off.
Right.
But 56% of the games played, over 85% hit the under, which doesn't sound like a lot, but you know, when you're doing betting anyways, you're going to be hitting around 50 to 60% at best to begin with. Yeah. That's good to me, good value. 56%.
Yeah, I think so as well.
And then the other thing that really caught my attention on that one was the games above 85 degrees, there's an 8% decrease in passing production. Both teams are very pass heavy. They're clearly proving me wrong at this point since it's 34 points. But that was my reasoning for that one. Then I had Saints and Cowboys over 46.5. Both the Saints and the Cowboys have very good offenses that can put up numbers. Defenses are not quite there, like they're good middle of the road NFL defenses. They're just not elite defenses that are going to stop each other. So it leads itself to me to be a shootout. I think the Saints D is probably weaker than what week 1 showed because Carolina is not a good team. I could be wrong.
That's an accurate statement.
But, well, I'm not wrong that Carolina is not a good team. They are not a good team. I could be wrong that the Saints don't have a good defense.
Right.
I really see this one going over 46.5. That seems really, really low for those two teams. Especially
I would agree.
Two teams that play indoors. They're playing indoors. It's going to be a track meet, I think. Could be like a 35 to 33 type of finish. And then the last one I had, at some point we got to make some money off of these pricks. I got the Chargers at the Panthers, and I went over 38.5. I think the Chargers have a good enough offense that they could score 30 points on their own. And then I feel like Carolina is probably going to score 7 to 10 points in garbage time. 38.5 is not a very high number. It's in Carolina. I don't know what Carolina's offense is. They've got talent there, but something's not clicking. In any event, I still think the Chargers could almost cover that by themselves because Carolina's defense is not good, and they just lost Derek Brown, who's their starting defensive tackle, Pro Bowl.
Right.
Probably best player on their team, honestly. Right. And the Chargers have J.K. Dobbins, so he could have a huge
and they're coached
he might have
well enough.
Good enough.
Good enough. They're going to be a winning team, right?
Yeah.
So
J.K. Dobbins could have 3 touchdowns in this game.
He's finally somewhere where they're going to let him loose, you know. Yeah.
And Harbaugh loves to run the ball.
Oh, yes, he does.
Herbert's going to take a hit in production because he wants to pound the football
But
down.
Just think, he's going to have Herbert when he needs to throw. And that's
scary.
Yeah, that's pretty scary.
So, in my opinion, I feel like the Chargers could almost cover this entire
on their
spread.
Own.
Yeah.
Right. Nice. Yeah, I like it. All right. So I'll go into mine, and we had some similar games that we keyed in on for different reasons, different bets, but similar reasons. My first one I had was New Orleans over 19.5 points team total. Same thing you said. I think it's going to be a track meet. One thing I have here, since October 1st of last year, New Orleans is top 5 in the NFL in points scored.
Which is
crazy to me. I don't even think that
you never hear about them.
No. So last year they scored more points than the Chiefs, and in their last 7, New Orleans has a median of 28 points per game. Last week they were up 30-0 in the first half.
Yeah.
So Dallas
Thanks
always plays
Carolina.
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't going to say who they were playing against. I just said they were up 30. Dallas plays high-scoring games at home, so I don't think that's going to change.
No.
So like you said, track meet, I like that term. Saints will get to 20 points easy. And then I have Jacksonville minus 3.5 versus Cleveland. Cleveland, man, come on. Got to do something about Deshaun. That guy's keeping everyone down.
Get him.
There's a lot of talent on that team, but none of it is under center. Yeah. So I think that's a problem. They're going to be in Jacksonville. And as long as Deshaun is under center, I don't even think they have a chance. Not against that Jacksonville defense. So I think Jacksonville covers there 3.5 points. In the last game I had, I also had the Chargers in Carolina, and I actually just took the cover for the Chargers -6.
Which is surprisingly low for what they did last week. I kind of figured it was going to come out and be like
I did too. That's why
9-point spread.
That's why it stuck out to me, right? Like -6. I want that one.
Especially after losing Derek Brown. Like he's your legit the best player on the team, and he's out for the season now.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It makes sense to me.
So I have a couple ridiculously specific stats here. So one is Harbaugh is 9-4 against the spread when traveling his teams to the East Coast from California. He's also 39-24 against the spread in his NFL career. So he's pretty good against the spread. Justin Herbert is 24-9 and 1 against the spread when his defense gives up 24 or less.
Which is going to be the case this weekend.
It's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's going to happen. So
I like those. There's no scenario where Carolina scores more than 14 points. No way.
Maybe the defense, because no, probably not.
I don't even think that's possible. They got torched last week by Carr.
So Shaun has his bets here, and again, we're going to do the same thing. We'll go through the bets, but we'll let him argue them if he wants to do another video. His first one, he had Bills second quarter over 6.5, which I think.
Let me check.
I think he hit that.
I think he did.
He got one. Good job, Shaun.
Oh, yeah. Second quarter.
You actually put 17. Some money on that one, buddy.
17 in the second quarter for the Bills.
Wow. Well, we all were like, oh, they start slow, so that makes sense. And then they started.
Their defense came out. 2 interceptions right off the bat.
Yeah, right off the bat. Well, average Tua, right? I know.
Yeah.
Don't get you started, right? That's your fantasy QB, I know.
Yeah.
All right, so his other one, Jalen Tolbert for Dallas, under 2.5 receptions. Who the hell is Jalen Tolbert?
He's making more money than we are.
But that's probably why he picked it, right? Like, who the hell is he? He's not going to catch 3 balls.
Yeah. It was like the last 14 games or something like that. He's gone under 2.5, something like that. Yeah.
It's funny. And then his final one here is Green Bay total under 19.5. So Green Bay's just hurting, right?
Oh, man.
They don't have their quarterback. They don't have their running back. Their top 2 running backs are out, I believe. So that was a pretty good call by him. So, not too many surprises here.
We really liked.
There was one we really liked. So that's actually one of the ones we chose together as a team, I guess. And then the other one we liked was the Saints at Cowboys over 46.5. So those are our 2. We're going to do those as straight bets as well. And I say we already did. Shaun, he's not here, but you know what? He went over there to Iowa and legally placed the bets.
Disclaimer.
Thank you. So there you have it, guys. Those are our bets. 4 straight bets this week. Memphis first half over 10.5 versus Florida State. Oregon at Oregon State. We're taking Oregon State plus 16.5. And then for the NFL, we got the Saints at Cowboys over 46.5 and Green Bay total under 19.5. So feeling good.
We're making some damn money this weekend.
I think we're going to do well. I think it's going to happen. And you know, as always, follow us on socials, and we'll have all kinds of stuff up this weekend as we're watching a lot of football and tracking our bets and hoping and praying that we finally hit some stuff. Right? We got to get off the snide.
Oh, we will.
Point.
We will. Damn it!
I feel it. Ah. All right. So some final thoughts here. 1,000 subscribers. It is a lofty goal. We're at 26 right now, I believe. 26 people, right? So
share with your friends and family.
While that was a big jump, right? Hit subscribe. Are you watching right now? I'm gonna wait 3 seconds. Just take 3 seconds and subscribe.
Yep, do it right now. I dare you.
Okay, you had time. Hopefully you did. But seriously, we're really trying to achieve this. If we hit that 1,000, we'll do some kind of giveaway. I know we keep saying it. We're going to have to come up with something. But really, the big thing is we're going to do a dance. We're going to do some kind of horrible choreographed
terrible,
dance.
awful.
I mean, we are dancing with the odds. We got to dance. Yeah. Probably have palms involved. I don't know. It's going to be... I don't see why not.
Yeah. I've been practicing my aerial, so...
Jesus. I'm more of a calypso guy, you know. Left or right aerial or front aerial. I mean, really.
It's a lot of just flipping and hoping that I don't hurt
I've been practicing with foam, though, because, you know, I'm not ready for the Marley yet.
Oh, yeah, no.
It's really my back just kind of, you know, it's not limber.
It's mainly on the bed.
In my dreams, that's when I'm doing it.
When
right?
I'm sleeping is the best time that I get to practice in.
All right. Oh, man. So there you have it. Please subscribe, share with your friends, tell them to subscribe. Help us out. We would really appreciate it. And otherwise, just make sure you're following us on all the socials. Like where you can and listen to us wherever you listen to your podcasts. And hopefully you're watching now on YouTube. That's even better. Anything else, Aaron?
I don't think so. I'm looking here still at this game, and we're 10 minutes, 22 seconds left in the third, and still 34 points. So maybe
it's possible it could happen. They might
slowing down a little bit.
They might slow it down.
Heat's getting to them.
No need to pass anymore, even though Cook had like some long touchdown run, but they're gonna pull the starters. I can feel it. It's gonna happen. All right. Well, thanks everyone for watching and listening, and
you guys.
Let's get these bets. Have a good one. Thank you.
Thanks.